The Pentagon releases their first UFO files after I tweet to President Trump and the Pentagon the movie AI, the plan to invade humanity, within 3 days. Very interesting. Welcome to the AI Organization. This is Cyrus A, Parsa, and this is the AI Show. The Pentagon released their first footage in history of UFOs, showing what looked like a spacecraft that moved very, very fast. Roughly 3.5 days after I released, and at the same time I was releasing, I tweeted to President Donald Trump, the Pentagon, and some intel agencies. What is the interconnection between that? Is it possible they watched it and decided to release it? Is it possible some people were looking at my previous interviews? What's the interconnection? In addition, the same day I was sitting down with some other outlet and discussing some past experience with looking at some files related to unidentified flying objects. Something I'll get into in another episode. But the movie is called AI, the plan to invade humanity. And that is the movie that actually got the Pentagon to release their files. And there's some interconnected things to it. This is what I believe. Because there were some other things that were done behind the scenes in different ways that got some exposure that interconnected with this movie. And what I've done the past 8 months. This movie was 8 months in waiting. It just doesn't have to do with the concept of UFOs or aliens, but it has a lot to do with artificial intelligence, 5G, 6G, surveillance, potentially the misuse and enslavement of all of humanity, not just conservatives or left, but even the poor folks that run our big tech companies, enslavement of them, enslavement of their minds. And there were some solutions left in this movie. AI, the plan to invade humanity. Millions and millions of inner concepts, inner meanings were embedded into this one video, and it was done in a very strategic way, not to favor any one group or any one class of people or political party. In fact, I sought to be very neutral with it. Now, in terms of the UFO footage that ABC, NBC, I think even CNN and multiple different outlets, they ran this footage. So they're verifying that the Pentagon, the Navy, the Air Force, in the past, they have not only footage, but they have come across objects that look like other types of crafts that it's not American, it's not Russian, it's not Chinese, and they can't identify. And it moves so fast and disappears in a way that is not in line with the technology we are told that we have, at least at this point, or maybe in the past. Currently, the U.S. has quite a bit of arsenal, and they lead the world, rightfully so. They've acted as a world superpower. A lot of people have negativity towards the American military and the U.S. But today, with the Chinese Communist regime, that is a nefarious regime. The only thing that stands against the Chinese Communist regime enslavement of every human being is not only the world's people, but the American military, the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines, the Army, the interconnection of all these things. But now we've gotten to a point that we don't need to use infantry. It's not even, we've gone past the point of nuclear weapons. There's some other weapons that we have that could take out, could disarm the Chinese government in many different ways. So I don't want to say anything more, but some of the things have been declassified, and all I can say is it's great that America has a very, very strong military. It can protect the world against the Chinese Communist regime, who is connecting on the BRI One Belt One Road, their 5G system, to Africa, to the Middle East, to Europe, and of course the Far East. So they endanger everybody, not just with enslavement, but with military might in the future. Hence, America and other countries, even Russia, Russia is a big player as well. Coming together can affect this. Getting back to the UFOs, I want to get into another episode, and I'm going to talk specifically about some evidence that I was shown in a subsequent episode. But the concept of there being trillions and trillions of universes and planets, it's a fact. Am I saying that we're promoting aliens in this network? No. Am I saying that there isn't UFOs and flying objects that are not described? And definitely not. There's been so many sightings, not just by humans, but by machinery in our radar systems and our going back to even the 40s and 50s. So, and special technology that we have today that's not released, but they can detect certain things at a very, very far place, not just within our planet. So around the moon, if things move around the moon, we can detect certain things, and even further. And the problem is they move very, very, very fast, even for a point that the human brain cannot conceptualize how fast it moves. It can move so fast that it's beyond the person's thought process to even perceive that a UFO or a spacecraft came and left. Think about it. In the early 20th century, the concept of airplanes, people wouldn't believe it. And then, you had airplanes, then you had commercial flights, then you had jets, then you had supersonic missiles, then you had the stealth fighters. These are things that are developing. So why not have other unidentified objects that are 10 times more advanced or 100 times more advanced than what's available for us to conceptualize? I want to end with this, is that yes, I 100% believe, well, not 100%, but my tweet to President Trump and also to the Pentagon had some correlation with them releasing their files. Or you can just say maybe it was coincidence. It was all coincidence, and I was working on this video, and then for 7 days straight didn't sleep, and I was preparing it, and boom, release it right away, and next thing you know, everyone's talking about AI invasion. So how did Cyrus A. Parsa, the AI organization, accomplish that? If he didn't get the Pentagon and President Trump to release some things, well, how was the timing timed so well? It's a question for everyone to ponder. Of course, I'm not spying on our own government. That's not the case. But how did I know? It's either someone was looking into me previously, or two, somebody sees the tweet and it's like, well, why don't we release this? Because we have other things that are going on. Or three, it was just a coincidence, and I had a gut feeling it was going to come out right then, and I put it in there. It's one of those threes, right? So you be the judge. I'm not going to force down anything to anyone's perspective. I hope those who have a faith don't think that if the concept of having UFOs discounts your faith, and those who don't have a faith, you may believe and you may not. I'm not trying to make everyone believe in anything, really. Just giving you facts. I present the movie, then I tweet it to President Trump and Pentagon, and then they release their footage. Those are facts. And it was no one else did that like the way I did that, and it was done. So I want to thank the hardworking people in the Pentagon, the White House, and the military, and our intelligence agencies. I also want to thank the common citizen who may not like them. This is a time that we have many things going on in 2020. The more peace that we have, the more kind thoughts we have and positive thoughts we have to people we disagree with or people we don't like, it's going to make things better. So until next time, this is Cyrus A. Parsa, the organization. Please like, subscribe, please donate. You can read the book Artificial Intelligence Age of Humanity, which this movie, AI, The Plan to Invade Humanity, was an extract from that book. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, same, Cyrus A. Parsa 1. Thank you very much.